Ashley, what was going on before you joined us in the collective?
I had come to a point in my life where I wanted to change. My husband had retired early. He had all the time in the world. And if he had a good day, I couldn't just take a day off from my corporate job. I couldn't wake up on a Wednesday and say, oh, you feeling good? Oh, let's get the motorcycles out.
Okay, wait, you motorcycle?
I do.
That might be the best fun fact. I would also not have judged my book by a cover as a motorcycle driver. Okay, all right.
That's what motivated me. I started thinking about, well, what could I do that takes the skill set I have, something I'm passionate about, and build a business. I started taking some community college courses, I took a travel writing course.
Nice.
Oh yeah, travel writing. That sounds awesome. I'm like, there's a lot of travel writers.
Sure.
And then I picked up a class about grant writing. And then I went and found a book, had a unicorn on it, because I'm always about, learning more. And I read it. I'm like, I can do this. Like, I've got the writing skills, project management. I'm a corporate project manager by day.
What did the early days look like for you inside?
I was a little nervous when I got inside because I had no nonprofit experience. I would go and volunteer my time on the weekends at different places.
Sure.
Nothing professional, but just volunteering. So I'd done a lot of volunteer work, but I didn't know anything about nonprofits, like how they ran or anything. But
I love your commitment to learning. I think that's actually a very defining factor for grant writers is the lifelong hunger for learning.
You nailed it. And one of my mentors told me one time, she's like, you're like a tree. If your limbs are not producing leaves, then you just die. So I got in, and initially I was like, oh my gosh, all these people have nonprofit experience. Like, I'm still learning what some of these terms are. So I was always looking things up. And I was always asking questions. I was not afraid to ask a question.
And I love that about you.
Yeah.
What was your first big win?
Honestly, the turning point for me was another unicorn subcontracted to me.
Yeah.
I had to do my funding strategy. I decided to do it pro bono. I know you guys were against that, but I had a day job. So it wasn't about the money, it was about the experience. The thing is that I strategically chose who to do that funding strategy for. She still serves as a reference for me.
Yeah. Nice.
So I was very strategic about it. But my big win was another unicorn subcontracting to me, because once I got a grant in front of me and wrote a little bit and got some experience,
confidence went through the roof.
Like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Because now when I had conversations with prospects, I could say, well, one time or one grant, they don't know it was only one grant, It was a game changer.
Have you done any subcontracting?
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yes. Last year I brought in more, because I was still working a full-time day job, I brought in more project work that I could possibly do. So I subcontracted back to several unicorns while I was still in the program. Even now that I'm not there, I reach out to Loretta and she gives me unicorns.
Yeah, no, it's a very curated group. So what's the long-term, the big picture objective? Are we wanting to be done with corporate?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is the big picture.
So what has to be true for that to be true?
One of the things I'm struggling with is that the contracts I have right now are 6 months and 9 months. I've only had one-year contract, and that did not renew. That idea of every 6 months out and looking again is a little nerve-wracking. But I've got 2 in the pipeline right now. One is checking my references as we speak. And if that one comes through and another small one, I'll be part-time for a couple of months to show good faith, but pretty quickly go really part-time.
Cool. This is very exciting.
Yeah. Okay. My full goal always has been to leave corporate.
Give us some sense of timeline, because I think people are often asking, how long does it take for me to get to my first 15K?
Yes. I think that's one place I was a little frustrated because I didn't get to 15K. I think that back when I started, it was make 3,000 first 3 months or something like that. And I didn't, because I did my funding strategy pro bono. It took me maybe close to 1.5 to 2 years to make 15K. But keep in mind, I was not fully dedicated. This was on the side the whole time. Looking back, my time frame was different than other people. Because one time you told me not every goal has to be time bound. You don't always have to have a hard deadline. Because I was going to go part-time earlier this year and I lost my big contract. And I'm like, okay, you know what? No more timelines. The universe will tell me when it's time. And it's time. Yeah. It's time.
That's really cool. I know you were saying you wish you'd heard these stories when you were in the early days. So what would that have been when you were feeling perhaps that valley of despair and in a low moment? What do you wish you'd seen or heard?
What the challenge was for me that I was comparing myself to others that were working on this full time. I'm big on networking, and most of my business comes from referrals or introductions. That is my jam. And Alex helped me with a lot. It's coming, Ashley. It's coming. You're planting the seed. I was a little impatient.
Sure.
And I don't know that somebody could have told me anything different. I was looking for other people like me, and I didn't find a lot of them.
The trouble is that there are a lot of them are quiet.
A couple people told me this weekend, they said, I was following you.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's actually the natural, healthy nature of a community.
Yes.
There's some folks that have the confidence, like you did, to get up and ask the uncomfortable questions or whatever. But if you were asking it, others were too. They just might not have been safe.
True.
So we built level 2 for you and level 3.
Yeah.
Knowing that that's what you would want next. Does it feel like the direction that we're heading, like solve some of those problems that we were missing for you originally as the messy middle lost child?
Yeah. Based on what I know so far about it, I feel like now you're meeting people where they are. It's not a one size fits all, because I know that I was way down here and I was trying to meet those same goals that the other people with experience were meeting.
Right.
And
or people have been doing it for 3 or 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah. Or even just came from nonprofit.
Sure.
Like I came in zero. All I had was the transferable skills.
Yes.
I had writing skills, communication skills,
Project management skills,
project
not
management.
to be under.
Exactly. Yeah. And the ability to, network with anyone. And I know that's not everybody's jam.
No,
not everybody's good.
You
at
actually came in with, you have way more skills than I would say the average person necessarily does enter with. So it was actually a huge advantage.
Yeah.
And I think that's showing now that you're getting the momentum. You had all the right pieces. I think it was just the confidence that might have been missing. And you've got that now, it feels like.
Yeah, because, some people would say, fake it till you make it. And I'm like, just doesn't
I've
settle.
heard a new way of
with
people
me.
saying that I prefer to. And I'm no longer going to use that saying. But there was someone who said a different version. And I've got to track it down and find it. Because it was something else. Because it is true that you don't find the confidence till you do the thing, the uncomfortable thing. Like it doesn't come first.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily faking it either. Because we all want to feel authentic. And,
Right.
Well, if there's like one last thing that you would tell somebody like that's new and considering this or in the messy middle, what would you say?
Well, I will tell you that everybody that I've met here this weekend that is new, they say, I'm new. I tell them, this program gives you everything you need to build your business. Whether you're going to be a side gigger or go full time or even just, one unicorn I'm talking to, she's happy being a subcontractor. The program gave me everything I needed. I just needed to be a little more patient and let the universe pull it together. Right. Just think what you've done is just absolutely amazing. Like, in the community you put together, I mean, I hope you know that that's your differentiating factor. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I went to another program because I'm all about learning and I want to learn from different sources. It just wasn't the same. I got some nuggets. I truly did.
Totally.
I connected with some people.
Yeah.
But I mean, I already knew how to write grants. So that didn't really apply. But the community wasn't there. Like I couldn't just bring a problem and like have a workshop and have everybody comment on it.
Sweet. Thank you for sharing the story. It was
absolutely.
fun to learn that you ride motorcycles. I have a deathly fear of motorcycles, so I'm just like fascinating.
So, in my LinkedIn profile, I actually use in my about section, I inherited my motorcycle from my dad.
Yeah.
He never got to Sturgis. And you know what Sturgis is.
I sure do.
When I inherited the bike, I said, I made this goal, time-bound goal of I'm going to get my dad's bike to Sturgis by 2022.
Sure.
I had it there in 2021.
Nice.
And I use it as an example of my tenacity, project planning,
Yes.
budgeting.
Yes. Right. Yep.
So it's a little quirky, but I mean,
it's a great example. We all know the dreams of our parents that we would like to see them finish.
Yeah, I had his helmet strapped on the back.
Oh.
So
and I feel like the rain could just start dropping now.
I was dicing onions here.
Yeah. For real. Okay, well thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate it, Ashley. I
You're
really
welcome.
do. Cool to meet you in person.
Yeah, likewise. Like if you